Okay, so according to this, my live video is starting. I'm gonna just get close unused applications. Man, I got stacks of those. What are they talking about? You may experience poor video quality. Well, why don't you guys tell me if there's some poor video quality going on here? It looks okay to me. Hmm. So, good morning, y'all. Feel free to say hi in the chat. You're kind of stuck with me this morning. So far, we've heard from Justin, we've heard from Mindy, we've heard from Kelly, and now you and I are going to take some time. We're going to go through a little bit of James 1, which is my favorite. Good morning, Danielle. Welcome to my home office slash studio. Hey, if you guys could let me know if this video is looking okay. I keep getting this warning from Facebook that says there's something wrong with it, but it looks like it's going just fine. So this is my home studio slash office. We had a guest room. I converted it. That's why I have a bed in here. And I'm not gonna lie to you that sometimes in the middle of the morning, I just might just slide over there and take a little nap in between whatever. But welcome to my space. So this morning for 21 Days of Prayer, we're looking at James 1:5. This is one of my absolute favorite verses in the entire Bible. It is actually something that if there are, you know how you got a Bible verse that you kind of like hand out to people where you're like, oh, hey, you should check this out, or you should check this out. This is probably the verse that I have given to more people in my life ever. And it's probably because it's the verse that I use myself, that I go to and I pray with more than almost any other verse. I'm doing it in the NIV. I know a lot of times at Impact we use the ESV, but this is the one that I've read so many times that I have to do here. It says, if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. I love this because, first off, who among us has not at some point in your life lacked wisdom? See, for me, I don't have to go back very far. I can go back to tomorrow, yesterday, and be like, oh, yes, yesterday I lacked wisdom. And so I needed somebody to help me figure something out. And I mean, there's a lot of different circumstances we could look at. I know in my own life, I've gone through a significant job change in the last year. I left a job that I had for more than 20 years, and it was a God thing. And in the middle of it, there were so many different times where it was like, God, should I do this? How do I do this? How do I whatever? And I just kept going to him and asking him, and like, hey, how do I do this? What should I do? Whatever. And it's always amazing to me how God comes through. And I could give a lot of testimony, but we're just going to go ahead and cut through this verse a little bit at a time. So starting off, it says, if any of you lacks wisdom. Okay. So we have established that that's all of us. Like every single one of us fits in that category. I'm actually going to throw one more thing in this. If any of you lacks wisdom, sometimes I think that we are not as smart as we think we are. I think that we would be wise at times. One of the great markers of wisdom is to seek more wisdom. In fact, if you go into Proverbs, it actually talks about like, hey, a wise man's always on the lookout for a little somebody saying to him like, hey, you could use a little adjustment here, a little thing there. And so I think seeking God for wisdom is a marker of wisdom. So it's a good place to start. So even if you might think like, I got this, I don't need to pray about this, this would be a good place to go like, maybe this is a little something we could be talking to God about. You should ask God, boom, we know this, who gives generously to all without finding fault. I love that because how many times have you thought to yourself, I'm not going to ask God for help here, or I'm not going to talk to God about this because this is my fault. This is my mess. It's on me to take care of this, whatever. I would even challenge you with the idea that you may not think that consciously. That may be kind of a subconscious thought. You almost need to take a minute and get quiet with God and even with your own heart and go, okay, why am I not willing to ask God for help on this thing? Or why have I not yet asked God for help on this? And I think a lot of times it's because we think that God is going to begin by chewing us out. Right. So, I don't know. Let's say it's your finances and you know that you've got credit card debt you got to get rid of, or I don't know what it is in your own life. That was one in my own personal life where I was in debt and I needed help and I didn't know what to do. And so I started talking to God about it, but I was hesitant to do so because it's like, hey, this is my mess. I have to clean it up. I can't go to God for help about this. But James 5 says right there that you can go to God and he's going to do it without finding fault. So the lecture, the fault finding that maybe you would get from a parent or a sibling or even a friend, or in my case, myself, I am easily my worst critic. God is not going to take you down that road where he is going to just constantly find fault with you. And it says it'll be given to you. You should ask God, who gives generously without finding fault, and it will be given to you. Now, think about the idea of generously. How often are we in our lives really, really generous? Oftentimes we give what is needed and we'll stop there. That's not always the case, right? But think about God who gives generously. So I think about it in terms of, you go to God and you're like, God, can I have a bagel? And God's like, you want it sliced? Do you want it toasted? Should we put some cream cheese on it? Would you like a pizza bagel this morning? God is in the business of he gives generously. So you're asking for a bagel and he's taking it several steps beyond. So when we go to God and we ask for wisdom, he's not going to just give us like wisdom to barely get by. We're going to get generous wisdom from God, the kind of wisdom that doesn't condemn us, that doesn't find fault with us, and instead, shows us where we need to go. You can even go into 6. He says, when you ask, you believe and not doubt, and it goes on and on. But the reality of it is that right now, whatever it is that we're going through, we can ask God for wisdom. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pray right now. We're going to take a little time and pray for wisdom. And then I've got one more thing that I'm going to throw at you. But as we get started, I'm actually just going to take a couple sips of my coffee. And I want you right where you are to just take a minute, search your heart, search your life, search your mind. Like, hey, what is it? What is going on in my life right now that I need some wisdom for? This is your time to do that. Or sip your coffee. Sometimes there's wisdom there too. Okay. So you got that thing, you got something that you want to talk to God about where you could really use some wisdom about what to do and where to go and how to do it. Well, let's just ask him. God, thank you for your friendship and your patience, because so often I just feel like I can't bug you with stuff. Or, man, maybe I think I've got it on my own, or I don't know all the reasons that I don't check in with you when I should. But God, thanks for not finding fault. And I just pray that you and I today, we could brush those reasons aside and that you could give me wisdom about what to do and how to do it. Now, God, I know what in my heart I need some wisdom for, but all of us together, everybody's got something different that they're asking for your help on. And God, I pray that just like you said in your word in James 1, that as we are coming to you with wisdom, that you would give wisdom, and God, that you would give it generously. And I'm taking this a step farther, God, and I'm asking that we would be open to listening, that anything that would block the kind of the ears of our heart and our mind from hearing what it is that you have for us, that you would clear all that out, that we would clear things out if it needs cleared out on our end, and that we would be open to hearing from you. And that then, God, when we get the wisdom, that we would be quick to listen and quick to put it into action, that we wouldn't be resistant to what it is that you have for us. Got a lot of people with a lot of questions, a lot of needs, and you're meeting those needs. God, I'm just going to thank you in advance for the fact that your word is true. And you said for us to ask and not doubt. And you know what? We're not going to doubt, God. We're going to believe that the wisdom that people are needing right now is coming their way in Jesus' name. Now, you spend some time, you're praying for wisdom. You need to know what to do. We just prayed for wisdom. It's been a solid 15 seconds and you don't have it yet. What the heck? Man, this whole Bible stuff is crap. I'm out. Here's something that I'm actually going to borrow here from another guy. I've talked to you about him before. If you ever hear me preach, I almost always end up quoting this guy, Dallas Willard. He's got a book called Hearing God. And first off, if you're looking for a book to read, you could do a whole lot worse than Hearing God here. But this is about his subtitle. Yeah, it's on this version, Developing a Conversational Relationship with God. And one of the things that he talks to us about in this book is like, hey, you're talking to God, you ask him for wisdom, you ask him for some help, and you don't open your eyes and find a signed note or whatever. He says to just pick up and keep going. Just keep going about your life. In his example, he actually says, go out and garden. That's not something I do. And, you know, in the middle of January, you're probably not gardening either. But, you know, he says to go out and do that and just be kind of waiting expectantly that at some point, God is going to drop that wisdom in front of you and you're going to know that it's from him. And I love that because there is a lot of times when we pray and we feel like, hey, I don't see the answer, you know, within 5 seconds of saying amen, and therefore none of this stuff is working. And so the idea of sometimes faith is just carrying on, you know, like, hey, I've asked God, I know that he is going to bring this to me. I'm just going to go on living my life and I'm going to be ready. So there's some, you know, some expectancy, some readiness, but also some resting in the fact that God is going to do what he said he was going to do. He said that he was going to give the wisdom. He said he'd give it generously. He said he wouldn't find fault. See, that's another thing. You could walk away and be like, oh, God's not telling me what I want to hear because I've done something wrong and therefore he's not going to tell me. No. Okay. He's not going to find fault with you. He is going to give you that wisdom generously. So just take a breath. The wisdom that you need is on the way. You just got to wait a little bit and that's okay. So you know what? You get up from this Facebook Live or YouTube, wherever you're watching it, and hop in the shower or go to work or do whatever it is that you're supposed to do. And know that sometime today, God is going to drop that wisdom on you. And you're like, well, what if I don't get it today? Well, you know what? Sometime tomorrow, sometime on Friday. Wait, tomorrow is Friday. Saturday, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. God is going to drop this wisdom on you because you know that God's not a liar and that you haven't done anything to mess it up. And he's going to bring to you what it is that you need. Okay? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to take a deep breath. I want you to relax. And all day long, as this thing keeps coming up to bug you, just say, you know what? God's going to give me the wisdom I need. God's going to give me the wisdom I need. And then when that wisdom pops up, you know it's from him. If you feel like you're like, I'm just, you know what? Just grab a friend and say, hey, you know, this is what I feel like God's talking to me about. Will you pray with me about it? Again, no problem. God's going to work through this thing with you. So you can just relax and have faith for that. Okay. Also want to say, hey, to so many of you guys that are signing in. I hope that 21 Days of Prayer is going really well for you. Dana, Cassandra, Doug, Michael, Daniel, Aaron, Heather, let's see, David, Diane. There's all kinds of you. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me this morning. 21 Days of Prayer is going to continue, well, for the next, 17 days, 16 days or something like that. So we're going to keep meeting together. Yes, and that even means Saturday mornings and Sunday mornings. That's going to be happening as well. I'm even going to go ahead and throw a plug out here. If you've got students at home, don't forget that Winter Jam is coming up on Sunday. You can grab some more details and even see the amazing announcement video that our students put together. It's actually on this page here on Facebook. So I hope that you guys have an absolutely wonderful day. And you know what? Don't be afraid to come back here. And whether it's in the post in this video, or if you just want to put it like on the page at Impact City's website, or not website, but a Facebook page here, why don't you go ahead and tell us, man, like, what is it that God did today or tomorrow or whatever, where you were asking God for wisdom and he delivered on that wisdom? That's something that we'd all love to hear. It builds our faith when we hear other people having their prayers answered that way. So go for it. So I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thanks for spending time with me. Thanks for letting me be the person that's bringing you some word this morning. And I'll see you later. Bye.